Welcome to our third video in our series on setters and getters and private variables or private fields, that is. So last time we automatically generated the setters and getters for our ticket booth. So we've got private int, number of tickets available, private int, amount of popcorn available, amount of sodas available, amount of hot dogs available, and it automatically generated all of that information for us, or all those methods for us. So let's go to our main method, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this except for the Crown Cinema part. Oh yeah, I want to delete the Crown Cinema too for a moment. And we're just going to create some ticket booths for several different theaters. So we're going to say ticket booth for Mary's Theater ticket booth. So ticket booth, Mary's Theater ticket booth is equal to a new ticket booth. And once we create a new, so by the way, the point of this video is to show you something called the constructor, which is going to simplify what I'm about to show you. So I'm going to show you something that's a really long way to do it, and then show you like a ridiculously easy way to go about doing this that won't take nearly as long. So in the past, when we had to create a new instance of an object, we had to set the name. So ticket booth, we created a ticket booth. Or rather, we're making Mary's Theater refer to the ticket booth type, or the object, and we're creating a new ticket booth instance. Now, once we have our instance, we need to take Mary's Theater ticket booth, and we need to set the amount of hot dogs available. So, you know, she's got 150 hot dogs, maybe. And we need to do Mary's Theater.ticket booth, and we need to set the amount of popcorn available. So maybe she's got like, I don't know, people usually want more hot dog than, so we got like 400 popcorn buckets available or whatever. And then we're going to do her ticket booth, and we're going to set the number of sodas available. People usually like to drink soda and eat popcorn, so we'll set 400 sodas, Mary's Theater, and we're going to set the number of tickets. So, you know, it's 100 theater ticket. The reason they have more sodas and more popcorn is because they have several showings a day, and you don't want to run out of popcorn or sodas within the day. So let's just say that. Now that's a lot of code to write. What happens if in our code we're managing more than one theater? So let's suppose that we have another ticket booth, and this ticket booth is, I don't know, Bob's Theater ticket booth. So Bob's Theater ticket booth is also a ticket booth. And guess what? We've got to go through all of that code again just to set those variables related to Bob. So in this case, we're going to go Bob's Theater ticket booth, and we can go Bob's. Not too bad. I mean, we can just copy paste these values. Okay, well, that's not too bad. But another issue is if we want to do this one more time, look at how much code is showing up on the screen. It's just a lot. If only there were a way to build a ticket booth and set all of these values from the beginning without having to type each one out. Well, there is. Well, the good news is if we go back to ticket booth, we can create something called a constructor. And a constructor, you can put it right below your field declarations. And inside this, we're going to go, I'm going to create a method in just a moment that is going to allow us to call that method for a ticket booth and create a ticket booth with all of the values we want to put in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say public, and I'm going to create a new method, and the method's going to be called ticket booth. Now I want you to notice a couple weird things. I didn't have to say public static. I didn't say public static void. I didn't give it a return value. I just literally, all I did was say public and then ticket booth. Consequently, the word ticket booth is exactly the same name as our class. When you create a new method, public ticket booth, inside of your class called ticket booth, it allows you to call this method outside of the class to create the object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say public ticket booth, And we're going to pass in 4 different parameters. We're going to say the number of tickets available, and I need to give it a variable, so it's an int. Shouldn't have made my name so long. Int, oops, yep, int amount of popcorn available. Also notice what I'm doing, I'm going down to the next line. Int, did I put a comma after that? This is why having super long names is not so good sometimes. Int amount of sodas available. Int amount of tickets available. So I got tickets, popcorn, sodas, hot dogs. That's what we need. So I created a new method that has the exact same name as the class. Inside the method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this dot number of tickets available is equal to number of tickets available. So all I did is I said, hey, this object's number of tickets available is equal to whatever we passed in this parameter. I want the parameter to have the same name as the actual object's field value. And you'll see why here in a second. So now we're going to say this dot, let's see, number of tickets available, amount of hot dogs available is equal to amount of hot dogs available. And we're going to do this for each of the variables. This dot amount of popcorn available is equal to amount of popcorn available. Oops. And we're going to do this dot amount of sodas available. I think that's the only thing I missed. Yep, sodas available is equal to amount of sodas available. So I've created a constructor that allows me to preset all of these. Now when we go to the main class and I want to create a new ticket booth, let's say create a ticket booth and we're going to call it something a whole lot shorter this time. My ticket booth's called booth. I'm just going to have one of them. And booth's going to be equal to a new ticket booth. But in this case, look what comes up. Int number of tickets available, int popcorn available, int amount of sodas available, int amount of hot dogs available. I can just type in the numbers as they show up. So it's tickets, popcorn, sodas, hot dogs. 100 tickets. Amount of popcorn, notice it starts highlighting my next little value. Popcorn, we said there's gonna be like 400 bags of popcorn. Sodas, there was gonna be like 400 sodas, and hot dogs, not that many hot dogs sold, 100. We close it off. It's always good to continue that on the next line when it gets so long. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and save it, run it. And we're not doing anything with the ticket booth values. I'm just making sure it runs. Great. So now I want to find out my booths, my ticket booths, number of tickets available. I can just say booth.get tickets available, and we can go ahead and print that value. So system.out.println booth.number get number of tickets available. We're going to go ahead and save it. We're going to run it. And there you go. So we created a new ticket booth with way less writing. All we had to do was type in the numbers for all of the different amounts instead of having to type in booth dot set number of tickets, booth dot set number amount of popcorn, booth dot set amount of sodas. So much faster. Now you may be wondering, okay, that's all fine and well, but do I really have to type out all of that constructor information? I mean, that took forever and was like, it was just a lot. Well, the good news is we can create constructors fairly easily using the built-in constructors inside of IntelliJ and probably and most likely inside your other IDE. So we're going to go to code, we're going to go to generate, and in this case, we generate a constructor. Number of seats, and bam, it automatically creates a constructor for the movie theater. I can also go code, generate getters and setters for number of seats as well. And there you go. I've set the getters, setters, and the constructor all at once. Can do the same thing for movie theater. So movie theater, code, generate, constructor, code, generate, getters and setters. And now we've created the setters, getters, and the constructors all at once using IntelliJ's built-in system. So let's go ahead and take a look at creating a new movie theater, and then we'll call this done. Suppose I want to create a new movie theater. Movie theater is Crown Cinema. So Crown Cinema is going to be equal to a new movie theater. And watch what we're going to do. So new movie theater, our movie theater has private int number of seats. Uh-oh, getting an error here somewhere. Where is that? Movie theater equals new movie theater. And we are going to set the number of seats. It's going to have 100 seats, maybe 150. Something's going on. Oh, variable's already assigned to this value. Public movie theater, this number of seats. No idea why it's giving me that error message. And just figured out what it was. For some reason, when we created the constructor, it didn't have a parameter here and needed to have int number of seats. And for some reason, it didn't. So let's go ahead and delete this. Let's try that again. Maybe IntelliJ's messed it up. So we're going to go code, generate a constructor for number of seats. No, it worked just fine this time. That's so weird. Under main.java, main.java, our main method, we go ahead and do a constructor and it works just fine. So if we want to print out system.out.println crown cinema.get number of seats, it should give us 150 for the number of seats in Crown Cinema. And there you go. So that was setters, getters, and constructors.